What's up YouTube? This is Danny Dragey, and in this MIR4 video, I will attempt to explain what the fuck is going on with the Draco. But first, as always, I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. Wink wink. This content is purely for entertainment purposes. After all, that is why we all play this game in the first place. Wink wink. I want to point out a few items I have come across in my research and put them all together in order to make my prediction about what the Draco will do until the end of November and beyond. If you are watching this in December of 2021 or later, you are only doing so to see if I was right or wrong. So I've pre-recorded 2 separate responses for posterity. I knew it. I fucking knew it. I know everything. Bow in the presence of greatness. I'm sorry, okay? How the fuck am I supposed to know what's going to happen in the future? Do you think I have some magic 8-ball over here and I'm just shaking it until it says outlook is good? Well, that is exactly what I'm doing, so please address all of your complaints to Mattel. The first thing I want to point out is that the game is still growing. This can be seen by a number of factors. If you go by the speed at which new servers are opened, you'll see that the growth has slowed. But you also have to account for nearly 5 million accounts that have been banned as of the recording of this video, which has obviously opened up space for new players on existing servers. Further proof that the game is still growing is the debris growth that has been consistently on the rise since the release of the game, excluding the days of maintenance. Finally, the total amount of holders of the Draco coin is up considerably since the release of the game to over 750,000, from 50,000 shortly after the launch, back in the beginning of September. I had hopes that the price would continue to pump with the release of the staking program, but it seems like many players had purchased their Draco early for staking, and now we're seeing a decline in purchases, which is coupled with the rising price of the Wemix token to drive the value and price of the Draco down. It is important to note that when I talk about value, I'm speaking in terms of Draco to United States dollars. That is how much it is currently worth. And when I'm talking about price, I'm referring to the Draco to Wemix exchange rate. Sorry if that gets confusing for anyone. One thing to point out is that the top 3 wallets hold about 6 million Draco in total, which means that at any time, any or all of them could liquidate their Draco and the price would tank. If they went on to sell their Wemix as well, the value would also tank. That makes the Draco overvalued in my opinion, and a fair market value would be closer to 50 to 75 cent range. Keep in mind that only 29 million Draco have been smelted to date, so it would appear that those 3 players or institutions own about 25% of all Draco in circulation. But you have to account for the amount of Draco that is burned when a player purchases Draco, exchanges it for Dark Steel, and uses it to upgrade their character. I have confirmed with the Draco management team on Discord that there is no burn wallet. And that would be odd, as these wallets appeared overnight on 3 separate occasions back around the time when the NFTs were revealed. If one was a burn wallet, it would always be there and steadily be increasing. I added up the total Draco in circulation from the top 200 wallets, as well as all of the wallets with only a single Draco in them, and then used about 20 points to plot out all of the Draco in between to estimate the total amount of Draco in circulation as 16.5 million, plus or minus half a million. This means that between 12 and 13 million Draco has been burned or possibly lost due to account bans. Although a Draco manager also tried to tell me that if your MIR4 account is banned, your Wemix wallet associated with it is still usable. That would be like robbing a bank, getting caught, but being allowed to keep the money, so I hope that is not the case. This means that the top 3 wallets control over 36% of all Draco in circulation. With stakers buying less Draco, more Draco being mined each day than the prior day, it seems like the value will continue to fall, while the price will stay dependent on whatever the Wemix token does. This is until right around the end of the month. We are quickly approaching the 1 million Draco per day smelt cap. As soon as we hit this cap, As long as the game is still growing and those top wallets don't sell off on their positions, we'll begin to see a spike in the demand of dark steel. Imagine the snowball effect, if you will. One day, you're trying to smelt some Draco, and you'll be told that the daily maximum has been reached, and you'll have to wait until tomorrow. When tomorrow comes, you're ready the moment smelting is available, and now that cap is hit even sooner the next day, while even more people are unable to smelt. This will continue to roll over until everyone is waiting for the server reset and the 30-minute window to close so they can hit the button and hope to smelt a few Draco before that limit is hit. So I believe the Draco will slowly drift downward in value until this limit is reached, and then it will start to gain momentum and the value will skyrocket. Of course, we all know what rising value does. It attracts more people to the game, which in turn helps to reach the limit even sooner and burns even more Draco for character progression. A good analogy would be like a faucet. When the game launched, the faucet was turned on a little bit and dark steel started trickling out. Each day, that faucet was opened up a tiny bit wider than the previous day and more dark steel was able to flow. If there wasn't enough demand to buy the extra dark steel, it would lower its value. Once the faucet is turned on to the max though, there is no more increasing the rate of growth of the supply any further, but demand will continue to increase if the game continues to grow. I believe at plus 100 debris in a single day, we will reach the cap, and as you see, raising about 1 debris per day, we should hit it in about 2 weeks from now if the game continues to grow at its current pace. That's my hot take on the current situation. I was rather uninspired by the staking program, so I'm holding on to my Wemix and waiting for the price to bottom out towards the end of November, where I will purchase as much Draco as I can and ride it out to the moon, hopefully. Of course, this could all change based on those top 3 wallets, and I'm a total noob at this stuff, so what the fuck do I know? Those top 3 wallets could sell, the servers could merge, or any number of possibilities to throw off this prediction, so we will just have to wait and see. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more MIR4 content, but I've also been doing some research on a few other NFT projects, and I may start making videos about them as well in the near future. Let me know in the comments if you would be interested in these projects. Peace.